Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Virgo in mid-June 2020. What is going on, Virgo? How are you guys doing? I hope that you're doing well. All right, friends, welcome to June. Half of 2020 is approaching the rear view. And how are you doing? How are you coping with that? At this time, things are still a little crazy out in the world. We've got a pandemic still going on across the globe, and it's still, rattling around pretty hard here in the States. Also here in the U.S., we've got some civil unrest going on and swift changes to public opinion and what it means to have true equality and equity in our culture, in our society. And I'm stating this in all the videos just to kind of put it out there because, I try to remain neutral here on my channel because that's not what I'm in the business of doing just yet with my tarot, if at all. I don't know if I'd ever would, but I want to make it very abundantly clear that I am a supporter of Black Lives Matter. It is an important movement. And the nuances of it, if it's not your bag, if you don't understand it, I invite you to engage in conversations with people who are knowledgeable on the subject and on the matters at hand. And if you totally disagree and if it's not your bag and you don't want to hear about it or be in connection with readers who support it, I openly invite you to make your exit. I don't request that lightly. I invite all people to engage with me if they want to, but if it turns you off, I totally get it, and I respect everybody's decisions. So, you had a card flip over here, Two of Swords, so some of you might be avoiding certain decisions in your life, or you are blind to certain circumstances or details that, in circumstances that you're dealing with. But ultimately, when we see the Two of Swords, we see somebody at a crossroads, and they don't want to be, or they're ignoring that they're at that crossroads, okay? Anyway, back to the intro. So Black Lives Matters to me, not just because I am a Black American, but, it's not automatic that people who are of my ethnicity would support the movement. So I just want to make that abundantly clear as well, okay? Anyway, on with the regular intro. All right, so what you're going to see here today, Virgo, is your mid-month message. It will mimic the way that I do my personals, but it is not a personal reading. It is still very much a general collective for Virgos in mid-June 2020. If you'd like a personal reading, that information is in the description box. You can feel free to order with me, and I will happily oblige and work with you, okay? But if you have questions before you place an order, after you look at what's down there, just go ahead and email me at the same address, and I'll answer your question as soon as I can. Also down there, you're going to see the timestamp. If you want to jump ahead, feel free to click it. That's why I put it there. And you will also see the link to my Instagram where I'm pulling oracle cards and doing intuitive interpretations of those cards 2 to 3 times a week. I would like to get it back to 4 or 5, but a girl stays busy, okay? Eventually, I'm hoping to do some pick-a-card stuff over there, so if you're interested in that, just go ahead and drop me a follow on Instagram, okay? Also, before the month of June is up, I will do a surprise live on the channel. I'll just show up, do collective readings. I'll probably do readings for anybody who's in the chat who might have a question. So if you're subscribed, that's awesome. If you're not, I would suggest subscribing and turning on notifications so you can see when I actually pop up and do that. Because again, it is a surprise. I don't even know when I'm doing it. It'll just happen. Hopefully. Anyway, so those are all your announcements. Let's go ahead and get into it, okay? Let's see some messages for Virgo. Messages, energies, and insights for Virgo in mid-June, please. Messages, energies, and insights for Virgo in mid-June. Please show me. Last one. Thank you. Sometimes they're like gently saying that to me. Other times they're like really aggressive. That's the last one. So that was sort of in the middle. All right, let's see. General messages, energies, and insights for Virgo in mid-June. Show me. Okay. That's more than 2, so we're going to take that one, but we are going to tuck these back into the deck. Not going to engage with those because I usually only start with 2 or 3, and that was way more than 3. So one more, please, or at least one more for Virgo in mid-June. Please show me. Okay. Side position. Does that stay in the side position? They're really struggling to tell me. So I gotta pick it up. Okay, let's see. Side position for Virgo, please. Yeah, side position. They want it to stay in the side. Okay. Thank you. Anything else for Virgo, please? I say start here. Okay. So, Three of Cups and the Five of Wands. Okay. So, yeah. Virgo. Three of Cups. Water energy. So, emotionally speaking, you might be in a situation where you feel... I don't want to say that you're drowning, even though that's what's depicted here, partially, but you're possibly caught in a bind or emotionally stifled. Let's say that. Emotionally stifled. You might be in situations where you're supposed to be happy, but you're not happy. Because at the top of the card, what do we see etched on the wall there? We see people celebrating. We see people raising up cups, making toasts, and being very celebratory. But what we see below is this woman who is separate from that. So I'm saying you, Virgo, it is a general. Please keep that in mind. So I'm going to address it as if it was you, but if it's vice versa, or if it's someone else you're dealing with, that totally makes sense. Or if it makes sense that way, perfect. But yeah, there's like festive energy, and you are not a part of that festive energy, right? So mid-June, what are we talking about? June is Pride Month, so for some of you where that applies, maybe you were hoping to go to a Pride event, it's been canceled, or you can't go, or it's going to be held on Zoom and it's just like not as fun. There's something about something is fun or exciting or celebratory and you're not there. You're either physically not there or you're emotionally detached from the moment and you're not having a good time. Now, I get the sense of depression, okay? I get the sense of someone being like severely sad in the middle of other people's joy. And it's not purposeful. It's not that you're trying to be a Debbie Downer. It's not that you're trying to suck the fun out of a party or take the shine off of somebody. I'm not sensing this is a selfishly intended thing. I just think it's happening to you, or it's happening to someone and they don't really know why. We might have to clarify this because I'm not really okay. I'm not really getting why this is going on, and that could be partially because it's kind of unexplainable. Like, inexplicably, why is this woman in this water? Like, and I mean, if you are familiar with tarot, this is like a very specific depiction of the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups usually just shows three people having a good time. There are three people at the top of the card having a good time, but she is on the outside, this woman in the water. She is not a part of the festivity. So again, it's like maybe you've been shut out, Virgo, or someone has been shut out. Maybe someone was expecting an invite and they didn't get it, okay? Maybe somebody was hoping to, because another thing about the Three of Cups is to reunite. So it could be someone's been hoping for a reunion and it didn't happen, which again, summer months coming up, the weather is nice, the weather is breaking up here in the northern hemisphere. So a lot of us, maybe some of you have, an annual family reunion or an annual celebrate. It's not your birthday season, but maybe a Gemini or a Cancer, and maybe you're close with that person and their birthday party was canceled and you're kind of like, oh, I always go to Sally's birthday. I've been celebrating her birthday with her for the past 10 years. Well, due to Corona and other things, Sally's not having the party. And it's not to say you shouldn't feel indignant. Well, you don't feel indignant. I'm not going to use that word. But like severely sad that this is not where you are truly. You're either physically not there or in the middle of the celebration, you don't feel emotionally present. Or someone you're dealing with is feeling this way. And with this Five of Wands in the side position, very interesting they make, because side position for me is is not always a thing. So you're caught in between, or someone is caught between, like some shouting matches, or that could, okay, there it goes. That could be why you're sad. In the middle of a party, there's a fight, and you're just like, aren't we just supposed to be here celebrating Sally's birthday? Why is everybody like having a fight? Why is everybody making an argument out of something? There's something about drama and fighting and yelling and arguing and all this crap that you are also not a part of, or you don't want to be a part of. If you are actually there and physically present in these situations where it's a party, but then energy turns nasty or conversations turn nasty, you don't want to be there. You're just like, I want to get out of here. Or you're there, but you feel inequipped to do anything, so you kind of sideline yourself. So it's either you're there and you're annoyed or depressed that the fact that this is happening again, like it always, cousin so-and-so always gets into a fight with, aunt this and that, or whoever, or these two friends are always going at each other, they're always being passive aggressive towards each other, and you just want to have a good time, enjoy a Bud Light, and like have a nice chilled out summer afternoon, right? And there's just like this, I don't even want to be involved energy. That's one group. Second group, you're physically there and you feel ineffective or incapable of making things better. People are going to fight, or you're going to be roped into certain disagreements, and you're going to be called into this, the side room. Hey, Virgo, come in here. Now listen, you know what's going on here, right? And it's like this whole gossip circle crap, and you don't want to be involved in that either. And if you make a decision, or if you say something one way or the other, you're feeling isolated. Like, I feel like you might be put in a position, Virgo, to be the diplomatic person in the situation, the peacekeeper, and you don't want to be. Because the moment you say, okay, well, this person over here, why don't you calm down? And then immediately the other person is like, ha, see, Virgo's on my side. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not what I said. You also need to calm down. Ha, see, Virgo's on. And it's just like, you can't appease these two people or these two sides of the issue. So even if you try to help it out and squash something, you're going to be prevented, because someone in this energy is hell-bent on having an argument, whether you're there or not, whether you give a shit or not, whether you're on their side or not. There's like this vindictive or very, just like this insatiable lust for drama. And you're just, if you're a part of it or you're not a part of it, whatever, it's just like, it's a big turnoff. And it's emotionally upsetting to you. You are, whoever this is caught in the middle of some crap. And it's unpleasant. It's unpleasant. Because nobody, except for whoever this person is, maybe, is listening to reason. Could also be, yeah, like being caught in the middle, right? So people could be fighting over you, or someone is fighting over another person. And it's just like, as if the person is an item, as if the person is an object. And that's not cool. Because nobody is a damn object, ever. Nobody is anybody's possession, not truly, no. I mean, it's cute to joke, oh, you're my best friend, you're mine, or, oh, you're my boo for life, and all that kind of shit. That's fine to joke, but like, nobody is a possession of another person. And I get the sense that in some of your cases, someone is being treated that way, as if they're a possession, as if you belong to me. What? Anyway, let's go ahead and move away from this. What else can we tell Virgo regarding the situation? More insight for Virgo, please. Ay, Dios mío. Five of Cups, jeez. Five of Cups and the King of Wands. Okay. So again, fire, water, fire, water. You could be dealing with a fire or a water sign. Doesn't have to be, but that, and it's very strange. I would label that, because I normally don't state the signs unless it's a court card or a major arcana. But you could be dealing with fire and water signs. Maybe. Now, Five of Cups. I'm laughing because of what I was able to glean them off of that real quick. And the King of Wands. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Water signs, in case you don't know, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Now, I giggled here because it's kind of like in the middle of this party, like if this was at like a big old fancy mansion or something, you will find your way to the fucking wine cellar and you're going to stay there and you're just going to have a couple of solo drinks, you know. Now, it doesn't have to be a place with a wine cellar. You could literally step into the kitchen, have yourself a private cocktail, step outside, you know, take a drag on your cigarette, go to your car, drive around the block. I get the sense of like isolation, like purposeful isolation in this scenario of being in a party or being at a gathering or being in the middle of some type of argument and you just kind of doing a dip, just dipping out like, okay, I need to take a break here. I got to take a break. I cannot be in the middle of these shenanigans. That's what that feels like. Five of Cups also talks about, what used to be and what isn't any longer. And I get the sense that that is kind of happening. Oh, okay. I don't remember the message because I don't watch my videos back. But your June message, I think it talked about an ending and someone was like lamenting this ending. They're sad about it. So if that story is carrying over into this message, that's kind of what I feel this is, this Five of Cups, being sad about what is no longer there. Because you see this woman, she's facing these two glasses of wine, but she's got her head is turned towards the direction of the three glasses of wine behind her. Now in this deck, none of the glasses are spilled. So that could signal to me that there is some type of resolution or that there isn't a total loss in the situation. So if this was to be some type of bad breakup or some bad blood between a group of friends, it's not like you're not talking to these people anymore or that you're excommunicated from them or they're excommunicated from you. It's more of the dialogue is still open and the connection is still there, but it's not emotionally satisfying and it's not healthy or it's not fun, and people, you know, bad things have happened or words have been expressed and insults have been exchanged or whatever it is, but it's not to the point of blocking a person, putting restraining orders on a person. It's sort of that bittersweet amicable thing where we used to have so much in common, we used to have all these common interests and goals, and we were going down the same path, and now our paths have separated. Right? And that's, that can play with friends, family, lovers, whatever. I'm not getting a clear sense of the type of relationship. So it applies to everybody where, you feel it resonates. And it's, again, an isolating energy. We've got a woman similarly dressed in a white gown or a light toned gown, similar down here, and they're isolated. Have you been isolated or have you isolated yourself? Virgos aren't really big on moping, but you could. And I'm saying you could because you're all different human beings, number one. And number two, when a Virgo's plans don't go exactly right, there is a little bit of a recovery period. There is a little bit of a kicking the dirt. Like, oh shucks. Like, damn it. So that could be this is where you are. You're like in the aw shucks, that didn't work out for me. Aw, damn it. I really wanted this and I really wanted that. You could be angrier about that. You could be sadder about that. Take your pick. But there is this on your own thinking back on, because that's the thing about the Five of Cups. There is a reflective energy. And again, we could go back up here and even look at this. This could also be reflective energy. Like this could be someone lost in the memories of something. Remember when we were all pals and we were all friends and we would get together and hang out and go down to the marina and chill out on the boat and blah, 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 blah. And now it's like a distant memory and you're drowning in this memory, or you're inundated with this memory of what used to be. We used to be best of buds. We used to be in love. We used to be business partners. We used to be thick as thieves, and now we're not. So twice there is this energy of what was, and it feels very recent. You know, it doesn't feel like years ago in most of your cases. This feels like over the last few months or even weeks that you've been thinking back on all the things that transpired that may have been ugly, that you may or may not have been an active part in or taken an active part in, and you're moving on. The Five of Cups is always a moving on, whether you want to or not. Life progresses, right? We can't stay in a memory. We can't stay in a nostalgic state of being or state of mind for the rest of our lives. If so, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You're not going to be, all that well to do in terms of your emotions and your mentality, right? So there is progression here, but I feel there's like she's slightly looking over her shoulder. Not totally. It's not a total look back at those three glasses, but there is some, there's like this sad reflection on it. And I'm not saying this as if to dissuade you or to say stop being so sad and get over it. I'm not sensing that need to give you such a kick up the pants. But there is this lingering on about things that are not here anymore. People that aren't here, circumstances that aren't here, hobbies. Like I said, like maybe you were a part of like a certain club or a certain sports club or a certain hobby or something. And now because of Corona, that shit got shut down. Like now your favorite bar in town is completely shut down because they had to go out of business because they couldn't afford, to keep its payments. So where are you and your friends going to go and drink a Bud or Bud Light or two every 2 weeks? You know what I mean? Like it could be something quote unquote trivial like that, or something very significant where you're leaving people behind or people are leaving you behind or whatever it is. Now, the final component of your spread is the King of Wands. Well, here we go again. Some of you feel like this is who did this to you. And I'm only laughing because artistically speaking, these three women in these three cards, and it's only women. You could be a male and experience this feeling, okay? But these three women are similarly dressed, or they look very similar in their appearance, right? Dark hair, light dresses, drowning in one, being sullen and sad in another, and then completely drained of blood because of this vampire known as the King of Wands. So there are three depictions of someone suffering, someone going through the emotions of a situation, feeling trapped, drowned, ineffective, or not wanting to be a part of something, or being in the middle of happy festivities but not actually being able to connect. Emotional complications here. Being nostalgic, being drawn to or fixated on what was the loss of something and not actually coping, not actually fully moved on or on this path towards something new, even though it's happening. It's just not a full component yet. And then get to this King of Wands energy, and this person, maybe you, and again, it could be vice versa, but whoever is the woman in the light colored dress feels as if they've been drained of their life force, drained of their blood. So maybe you threw your blood, sweat, and tears into something. Maybe this is a project gone awry. Maybe this was some type of family reunion that you got together. Let's bridge the gaps in this family. Maybe you had a troubled past with your relatives or a certain relative or two, and you've been trying for months or years to make it work. And for a while it happened, but eventually something really nasty broke out between you and other people or within the family in general. And so you tried your best, and ultimately you've been devoured, or the situation was devoured you, or something just took all that you had to give and left you with nothing. This is how you feel. This is how you feel, or this is how someone else feels. Keep that in mind. This is not fact. This is subjective feeling that I'm channeling. Okay? So, why do I point that out? Because subjective feelings are not, if this was a courtroom, this is not evidence. This is anecdotal. So the challenge here is to see beyond the emotional effect of what's happened. Not to say it doesn't matter, not to say it doesn't have value or doesn't have importance. It does, but only to a certain point. And I feel there's this energy of looking at someone, the King of Wands character, whoever that is, male or female, fire sign or not, looking at that person as the enemy or looking at that person as the reason that things didn't go the right way. Now, here we go. I'm like, why am I saying this? Check it. Little bit of an astro lesson very quickly. You are 6th house, Virgo. Your opposite is Pisces. Both you and Pisces have aspects of service in your houses, right? You have aspects of serving others. You have aspects of taking care of others. Your opposite sign, Pisces, has another element in their house that isn't as prevalent in yours, but because you're opposites, you can tap that energy. They have this aspect of martyrdom. It's just a part of their character. It's just a part of their astrological wheelhouse, so to speak, right? So it's not in your house, but because it's your opposite sign, you can access everything that's in the 12th house. Everything that a Pisces can do, you could do too. Okay? That's just a general rule of thumb that I am kind of leaning on, and it's anything you can do, your opposite sign can do it, and vice versa. Okay? So that aspect of martyrdom, I'm slightly calling you out here. It feels like you're viewing yourself as this person that sacrificed so much for something and someone took everything that you had to offer. And that might be true. That might be true. But the challenge here is to get over that. Literally, get over that. I don't want to be a bitch, and I'm not trying to like make it seem like everything that happened was, to be taken lightly. No. But if you've been lamenting something, stuck emotionally in some type of depressive state for weeks or months on end, I get it. We all grieve in our own ways. We all go through these depressive episodes in our own ways. But ultimately, what I'm sensing coming from this card, this King of Wands, is that this person in your mind is a villain. But are they really? Again, I don't know the specifics. If this person is a total piece of shit, ignore what I just said. But if they are not a total piece of shit, be reasonable and understand that. Because this 5 of Wands came in the side position, right? If it was like this, if it was in the upright, it would be total chaos. If it's like this, it's somewhat chaos. There are moments where it's not that bad, or there are moments where we could make a different decision, or this, it's not as bad. And if it was reversed, then I'd be like, okay, there's no fighting, or there's very little fighting, or it would be different. But it came in this side position, and it's above this person. So there are aspects of them, well, yeah, they've probably been a dick, or they've done something that wasn't great towards you, but were they always awful? Like, I don't know who I have to defend here, because they're not my client, quote unquote client. They're not the person I'm reading for. I'm reading for Virgo. But I get the sense that this person, maybe that's not the best reason, because I get the sense that this person, they may have done some bad things, or they may have shown some sides of themselves that you didn't like, and they may have treated you a certain way in the situation that wasn't fair. But ultimately, are they a bad person through and through? To the core, is this person bad? That's what I feel compelled to bring up here. Now, in the comments or whatever, I understand. In your specific situation, if this person was a piece of shit through and through to the core, perfect. But for some Virgos out there, you're not dealing with, the Antichrist or something. You're not dealing with someone who just is the most horrible thing on earth. You're really not. And again, like I said before, this is subjective. Maybe between the two of you, it's terrible. But in other relationships, this person might be actually decent. Not an excuse. I'm just the person interpreting the energy for you. And that could be, thank you, that could contribute to some of you being nostalgic, to some of you feeling trapped emotionally. Maybe the past few times you've interacted with this person, they've been horrible. But you've known them for 5, 10, 15 years, and they've been a glorious person up until recently. So you're scratching your head. Why is this person treating me this way? Why has this developed between us? Why is this going this way? And you're confused. That could be where this is coming from. Thank you. Because I was like, why am I defending somebody who has treated someone badly? It could be a recent development in this person's character, or it could be the de-evolution or the dissolving of the relationship between you and that person has gotten to a nasty point. But at the inception, as is the case with most people in our lives, we usually have a good footing with our new friends and boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives and family members. We usually have good relationships in the beginning. Some relationships over time devolve. They crumble. They disintegrate. They turn into crap. Some they end nicely. And that's the other part. See, going back to what I said earlier, I'm impressed that I remembered something I said like 5-10 minutes ago. I said that some of you, oh God, what did I say? Where some of you are like amicable. If this was some type of split between friends or spouses or whatever, it was amicable. You both agreed. But somehow in the aftermath of the finality of it, in your mind, in your heart, you feel this person is a villain. You vilified them in your head or in your emotions. You're fine to do that, but I would, as a friend, as someone who's advising you, you don't have to take my advice, of course. I would say push past that, because this is a limiting energy. This is like circling the drain. It's a process. I get that people have to process things their own way, but this is taking up too much time and too much energy, or more energy and more time than maybe it needs to. And again, look into you and look into Pisces. You both do this, okay? Just want to let you know, okay? So let's go to get an oracle card for Virgo in mid-June. Please show me the deck. Divine Circus Oracle. Oh, come on out of the box. There you go. You know, you would think, Jay, why don't you just take these things out of the box beforehand? Because I'm not smart sometimes. What's the point in taking it out if it's not going to be chosen? You know? Alright. Oracle message for Virgo in mid-June. Please show me. Oracle message for Virgo in mid-June. Please show me. Ooh, that was not a good shuffle at all. At all. Oracle message for Virgo in mid-June. Please show me. Oracle message for Virgo mid-June 2020. Last one. Thank you. Alright. Oracle message for Virgo in mid-June. Come on, Virgo. Oracle message for Virgo in mid-June. Show me. Red Countess. 21. Add that together. That's a 3 for those that care about the numerology of it. All right. This book has a lot. I will not read all of it, but here we go. Red Countess. There is something that you know. You felt, sensed, heard, or realized this truth more than once. Even if others see or feel differently, you just know what you know, even if you don't quite know how you know it. When the Red Countess appears, she is reminding you of what you know, no matter how convincingly someone, or even you, might be able to talk you out of it for a while. The truth always returns to be dealt with eventually. This is not meant to be a warning. It is meant to be a reassurance, an encouragement to be bold and act on what you feel. Give your truths value. Hold your feelings and insights in high enough esteem to pay attention to them, to give yourself time to process what you think, feel, and sense. Know that they are worth acting on, even if that action just means to trust more and stop worrying. If you cannot figure out what your inner truths are, or you feel confused by conflicting thoughts and feelings, torn between head and heart, then you are in a state of information overload. You need to switch off, discharge some excess mental and emotional energy, and take a break. If a device was overheating, you would switch it off, let it cool down, lest it burst into flames beyond repair. Treat your brain, your nervous system, your body, your mind with the same good sense. Unplug for a few moments at least. Okay, that kind of, okay. I feel that underpins what I was saying about circling the drain, being caught in these emotions and not really doing much with it other than analyzing it, which is one of your strong suits, Virgo. You're a great analyzer, okay? And I feel like it needs to be expelled. This energy has to be put towards something practical, or as the book was describing, or the heat has to be let out of this thing. You got to turn this off. You got to unplug from this energy, right? So also towards the beginning where it was saying you know but you don't know, or you know and you can just sense something, I didn't mention it in the bulk of the reading, but because it came here a little bit in the oracle, going back to that Three of Cups, maybe this was about a third party situation. Maybe you were accusing someone with that that sideways Five of Wands. Maybe you were accusing a partner of stepping out on you and you didn't have the proof, you couldn't prove it, but your intuition was telling you and telling you and telling you, and now your relationship has devolved with that person and you never got confirmation that they actually were doing something outside of your relationship. Maybe that's a storyline for like some of you, but it didn't come through strongly until I read the oracle card, okay? And even then it's not super strong. Like for most of you, if it was a third party situation, it doesn't even have to be cheating. It could literally be somebody has an addiction, somebody has, family obligations that detract from your relationship with them, whatever it is. So take it with a grain of salt. If it resonated with you, perfect. If it didn't, and you're like, what third party situation? Forget I even said that, okay? Virgo, that is your reading for mid-June. If you liked it, like button is down below. If you want to leave a comment in the comment section, that would be super cool. Let me know how this resonated in your life. That'd be great. Feel free to share the video and subscribe to the channel if you feel up to doing so. The community continues to grow, meeting new clients, more people coming onto the crew. So I really appreciate all your support in sticking with me as one of the very many tarot readers that are out here on YouTube. Virgo, I'll be back soon to do your July messages and your mid-Julys after that. And again, I will go live for the collective at some point before June is up, so look out for that. And again, if you want a personal reading, that information is in the description box, okay? All right, guys, I thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.